And hey guys, welcome back. This is the 504 podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mark, and joining me is
Erica.
all right. And we are back. We're back to bring you another great top five. This one is going to get people talking because as I came up with this list, I'm like, ooh, this is tough. And I had to go to my bookshelf and I had to think. And I had to take some selections off. So this week, our top five is going to be top five books that you have read. And it can't be a book that you've heard of. It has to be a book that you've personally read yourself so that you can say, I enjoyed this book. So
Okay.
I'm going to start with, you know what, we'll go back and forth. I'll do one book, you do one book. It doesn't
Okay.
have to be in any particular order. It's just a matter, because it's five books and they're not in any order. Because I don't want to say that this book
Perfect.
here is like my favorite or least favorite, but it's top five books. Okay, my first book that I'm going to put on here. Oh, by the way, one rule: it can't be a series. It needs to be a specific book.
Okay. Got it.
So, in my book list, I have two series, but I'm gonna pick a specific book from the series. So,
Okay.
first book, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Oh, I'm not a Harry Potter fan. Convince me. Convince me to be a Harry Potter fan.
I can't convince you to be a Harry Potter fan. That's like people who like Quentin Tarantino movies. You either like it or you don't. Or not Quentin Tarantino. What's the guy who makes these really long movies, like The Irishman?
Yeah.
Who makes that movie?
Oh, that was Martin Scorsese.
Like you're either a Martin Scorsese fan or you're not.
Or, yeah.
No
Or
one can
Quentin
convince
Tarantino
you.
makes the long ones too.
Yeah, but Quentin Tarantino. Oh my gosh, Quentin Tarantino. He's the guy. He's the man. I've watched probably about three of his movies, and all three I've enjoyed. I watched Django Unchained.
Wait, save that for another one.
Wait, I
We'll
just.
do an episode on Quentin Tarantino movies.
No, we're not gonna do an episode on Quentin Tarantino movies.
Yes, and we can analyze them. That'd be great.
All right. So to
Okay.
avoid giving away some hot topics, we're gonna stop. So all right.
Exactly.
So that was mine. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. What's your first book?
Supermarket by Bobby Hall.
Hmm.
Great book.
What's that about?
Madness, creativity. It's a psychological thriller. It definitely has a twist at the end. And it's the guy Bobby Hall. Actually, it's an autobiography. So I found it on my audio book list, and it was really good. Really good.
Tell me about this audio book list.
Oh, I have an app called Libby, and
We're not sponsored by Libby yet.
We're not, no. And you connect it to your library card. So you borrow books. You can borrow regular, you could read books online, or you could borrow the audio versions.
You're
And it's all
losing me.
free.
Wait, there's an app you connect to a library card?
Yeah, so if you have a library card, you download this app, and then it connects you to your local library. And then you just borrow books. And you get them for 14 days. And you can tag books. You can put books on hold, and it'll automatically give them to you when the hold is up. It's pretty cool. So that's where I'm finding most of my books. I go on there.
That is pretty cool. The only thing I did with a library card was lose it.
I've never used my library card because I don't like renting. Well, I don't like borrowing books from a library because I don't know who touched them.
Well, especially now with COVID out here, you
Yeah,
open page
so
55 and get COVID-19.
I know a lot of people like to read in a bathroom, and I'm not a fan of knowing who read that book while they were pooping.
I think back to some of the books I used in college and where I really had to study at some points, and then I would sell them back to the library, and I would go, "Ooh, I hope nobody gets this book." Might be like a nose hair or a booger on a page or something.
You see? No way. No.
The things you do when no one's looking, man.
Exactly.
All right. So my second book, and I enjoy this one a lot. It's called Killing Johnny Fry.
Oh, Killing Johnny Fry. What's that about?
It's about an older gentleman. I think he's probably in his mid-40s. I mean, I read this years ago, so I'm kind of just freestyling here. Older gentleman who was dating a woman. He was really into her, and then he finds out that she's cheating on him with this guy named Johnny Fry.
Okay.
And in the process of losing himself, he rediscovers who he is as an adult without her being in his life. Because at one point he was like really down and out, and he was in the dumps. It was a page turner for me. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're not into the highly sexual novels and stuff, don't pick this one up. It wasn't the this focal selling point for me. I really enjoy a novel where you really feel bad for a person and then you watch them rediscover themselves and then they come out stronger in the end. So that
Oh,
was
okay.
how I read this. Cool book.
Interesting. Interesting. I'll have to check it out. These are not in any specific order. So, Catching the Wolf of Wall Street. So, did you ever hear the movie The Wolf of Wall Street?
Of course, I caught the movie. That's where we all got introduced to Margot Robbie.
Oh, yes. So, there's the Wolf of Wall Street book, and which is based on, I forget his name, based on the guy's life. But then this is an autobiography where he actually wrote what happened after he was caught and how he helped with the investigation and the whole like process.
Oh, he's snitching. He's snitching.
Yeah, he's a rat. He was a rat. But it's he led a very fast paced life. It's amazing what drugs do to people, and it makes them do crazy things.
I was listening to a podcast the other day, or it might have been a YouTube channel. They said cocaine is God's way of letting you know you have too much money.
Yes. Yes. And this guy, he was a hustler from like the age of 12 when he was selling ice creams at the beach, and they were like stealing the ice cream from like one of the ice cream vendors, and then they'd go on the beach, him and his friend, and sell the ice cream to other people. So like right from the get-go, this guy was like bad hustler.
Shoot, man, I never had that drive in me. The most I try to do is walk out of the Puerto Rican store with the 25-cent icy. Poppy running around the corner looking for me. He said, "Hey, Poppy, you didn't pay for that." I said, "Oh, I didn't? Oh, here go the quarter right here." And that was my very short career in trying to be a thief. I walked up to the counter and then walked away. Oh, Poppy came and got me.
You were sweating.
I thought I got away with it. I turned that corner so fast. But I guess because I didn't run, he didn't think that that I was trying to steal. Hey, yo, Poppy, you didn't pay. But man, I was trying to walk out with that blue Italian ice. No, it wasn't Italian. What's the little long 25-cent icy with the little alligator on it? Whatever those are called.
Oh yeah, I can't remember. I have to look that up.
He got like a Coogee sweater on or something. I don't know. From my mind. But that was my short stint with trying to steal. All right, book number 3. Now I'm noticing a pattern that you have, Erica. All of your books happened in real life. Like you don't have any fiction yet, and my first 2 books are fiction. Yet. All right, so my next book, I guess it goes into the title of self-help, and this is called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F.
Yes,
I really enjoyed that book. I watched it, and I'm someone that I really care how people view me and my interactions with people, and I'm very careful to try to not rub people the wrong way. I remember one of our coworkers, I made a joke with her, and she said, "Oh, that was not cool." And for the rest of the day, I could not focus until I went to her and said, "If I offended you, I'm sorry." And she goes, "No, I wasn't offended." I was like, "Oh, you seem like you were offended." She goes, "No, I was just joking around." But to not care, like I've always envied people who can like walk into a situation and be perceived as the bad guy and then just like, whatever. I remember having a conversation with Ms. Dortred, who actually listens to all of these. She says she wants to be a guest one day. Hi, Ms. Dortred.
Oh, cool.
And she said something that I've always taken with me. And what she said was, you can't own somebody else's feelings. So if this was what my intention was and you perceived it the wrong way, I can apologize for making you feel that way, but I can't go any further than that because it wasn't my intention. So if you took it someplace else and you internalized it a different way, I can't own that. That's the way you internalize it based upon your experiences. But from what I'm talking about, this is exactly like, this is what I said. This is what I meant. I can't own it any more than that.
So do you think it's helped you? Like, do you refer back to it?
Yeah, it's one of those books that I'm not like a real self-help guy. It's never really been me. I mean, I wing it for the most part. But this is one of those books that teaches me to realize that, you know, some of the stuff that I care about, maybe I shouldn't, and some of the things I put energy into, I probably shouldn't, and just really focus on what's important.
Yeah, I internalize a lot, so I'm a overthinker. So maybe I should read that book.
You're an overthinker.
Overthinker.
From my experiences with you, you'll tell a really bad story and laugh at the end, and I'm like, oh my God, she really doesn't care. and then you'll give me
No,
like the
I
backstory
do.
later, and I'm like, oh, you do, Campbell. How do you laugh at some of these things like that have happened to you? I'd be flipping out. I'd call out of work.
Oh no, no. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not. I'm a little too. I don't know. I don't want to be perceived as that kind of person who can't handle things. So that's why.
All right. So what's your third book?
My third book is. Sorry, my list is here. Nothing to See Here by Kevin Hill.
You know, you're giving all your authors. I promise. In the video, I'll put who wrote all these books, so
Okay.
that because she's really thought out, and I just wrote down my list. Oh, it's the name of the books, but I really should put who the authors are.
So basically, what drew me to this book was that the cover, and that's how I generally pick most of my books, by their cover, and then I'll read the back. There's a kid on fire. So I was like, wow, this is interesting. So it was a little slow to begin with, but it's basically about these two girls who grew up together, and one is from a wealthy family and one is not, and one gets thrown out of school because she took the rap for her best friend who was from the wealthier family, because the wealthy family paid off her mom to take the rap. So later on in life, they are reconnected again. The wealthy friend calls her, and she needs her to be the nanny to her stepchildren, because the wealthy friend is now married to like a senator or something, and he's up for like something big in Washington, D.C., whatever. And it turns out that he has skeletons in his closet, and
Oh, those are always the
skeletons
best.
are his kids. And he has two kids that he has to have now come live with him because their mom passed away and their grandparents can't take care of these kids because they do. Want to know why? Well, it's not like it's a.
But don't give it out, because if we have to start like a book list, you know they want to. I don't
Well,
want them to get the tea.
basically, the kid on fire on the cover of the book is exactly what the kids do. So it kind of reminded me of the movie Firestarter by Stephen King.
Nope, never saw that.
So these kids have the ability to burn themselves from inside out by creating these anxieties that they have. And all of a sudden their skin gets really hot, and they don't actually burst into flames and combust, but their clothes like will singe. So it's a really good book. It kept my attention, and in the end it was like I kind of wanted a little bit more in the end, because I was like, well, that's it. But for the most part, it kept me engaged, to see why these kids were able to set themselves on fire.
Well, that was
and why they did it.
That was your first fiction, huh?
I read a lot of fiction, yes. So that's that one. Nothing to See Here.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with book 4 now, and this is, you know what? By the way, let me go back. If you don't know, Harry Potter was written by J.K. Rowling. Killing Johnny Fry was written by Walter Mosley. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F was by Mark Manson. I should know that because my first name is Mark. My fourth book, another fiction. This is called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I'm pretty sure I'm murdering his name. And it's one of those books, like I looked on the list, it's like, the 50 books that you have to read before you die. And one of the books is called The Alchemist.
And I don't know if I've seen it. I don't know if I can get into it, but go ahead, convince me.
Well, I don't have to convince you, but it's about a young man who takes a journey, and it was like it's a memorable journey in his life, where I believe he's looking for like the treasure to happiness or something like that. And I don't want to spoil it, but he goes all around the world and he meets different people, and it's very fictionalized, and it's a discovery of yourself, because what you're normally looking for is always already where you are.
Okay.
It's like when they say your vision of happiness and what happiness really is in your life might not be the same picture. So we can look at, like, when I was a kid, like when I saw like the rappers and stuff, and they had like the big gold chains and the cars and the women and the money. I always thought that was happiness, but it turns out even from them that wasn't even their picture of happiness. Their image of happiness was something else. And as they got older, it was family and having friends and being around genuine people and having healthy relationships, and all the other stuff that they displayed wasn't really what they found happiness in, because all of that stuff is like superficial and fake.
So perception isn't always reality?
I guess it's true.
Social media isn't always what it's cracked up to be?
Oh please, I haven't seen any of these people in the gym pushing that little you ever see like when like people are in the gym, they're like, oh, I'm working out, look at me, and they push that little empty cart across the grass field. They make it
No,
seem like
I
they're
don't go to the gym.
no, but like on social media, like you'll see like the people with the ropes, and they're doing their
Oh,
arms
yeah.
up and down, and then they
Yeah.
go push that sled across the field, and you go, oh man, they're really getting a good burn. And then later
No.
they take a picture with slim fitting tee. This is how I get healthy. Well, what about the gym? You were in the gym, you were cooking.
Yeah, and what did you take beforehand to give you all that power?
Yeah. All right. So what's your fourth book?
The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
I've heard of this book.
And it's a great book. I read a few of her books before, so this one, people said it was good, so I read it. It's about Hollywood. I think there's a lot of inferences to other Hollywood actors. So I kind of made a connection on my own of who they may be talking about, but it basically takes place on how this woman in the late, she's born in the 40s, how she rises to fame. And she goes through all of her husbands and how they got her to where she is. So I kind of like equated her to a little bit of Marilyn Monroe. But it was definitely engaging, and I really liked it.
So she really was married 7 times.
She was married 7 times, yes. And there's a twist at the end of the book for
Okay.
her 7th husband.
No, don't.
I'm
That's
not going to tell you.
that's
No,
the
no,
book.
I'm
I'm
not
gonna
gonna
I'm
tell
gonna
you,
have to pick that book up if it's
but
good.
there's a twist. So, again, it's one of those things like The Alchemist. You live your life one way, but you really are something else. So it was good. I was shocked. But good book. They should make a movie.
All right, my last book is from a trilogy. It's The Hunger Games, but Catching Fire, the second book.
Okay. I have not read any Hunger Games either.
How are we friends? We've not
I don't know.
at one point did any of the books kind of go, oh yeah, I've read that book. Nope.
No. I don't know. I think
And that's by Suzanne Collins. Before I forget.
I think when the Hunger Games came out, it was just too much hype, and I didn't want to jump on that bandwagon. So.
Well, I read the books prior to the Hunger Games coming out, and I'm gonna do like an honorable mention that I'm actually reading now that I'm really enjoying, but I wasn't so much into the hype of the movies per se.
Okay.
And actually the main character, Katniss Everdeen, didn't like
Yeah.
her. I don't like clueless main characters. It's like you're reading the book and you're saying, why can't she figure this out? This is what it is. Like everyone else knows what's going on around her, and you're just waiting for her to figure it out. So Katniss Everdeen wasn't one of my favorite characters, but the actual concept behind the book is so amazing that many of the video games that I play now, or the ones that are popular now, I feel reference or steal from this book. So one of the games I'm playing now, which is Call of Duty Ground War or Ground Zone, it's whatever. It's 150 people, and they all throw you in the map, and only one person can win.
Okay.
Same thing with Fortnite. Same thing with PUBG. These battle royale type of games. I really think they took it from here because in the Hunger Games, you have 2 people from each district, and only one person comes out alive, and they drop you in the middle of nowhere. And you have to survive for days, and then whoever the last person is becomes a champion. So it's a cool concept that I think that video games actually use today.
Okay. I mean, I guess I could read them. I mean, I've seen like snippets of the movies.
You don't have to.
It was
a moment.
But I don't know. I have so many more I want to talk about, but
Okay, well, give one honorable mention after your 5th book.
Well, I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna have to go with The Handmaid's Tale because I did watch it
Ooh.
after the series, and I really don't like reading books after seeing a movie because then I'm stuck with what I've seen in my head, and I'd rather just envision my own characters and make them out how I think they are versus what I've seen on TV. But I think what's most impressive to me about that book is that she wrote that in 1984, and
That's when I
it
was
just
born. 80s babies, throw them up.
so it just leads to a lot of what is going on now, and I don't know. And it's Margaret Atwood, and I don't know. I just think that she has some sort of foresight to know, like in '84, like there were things that were going on then that that could relate to what she wrote about in her book, but right now we're dealing with this pandemic and we're told to by the government to do certain things, stay in your home, you have to wear a mask, and that wasn't happening in 1984. So it's almost like, what does she know? What does she know that this
Time
is going to
travel.
happen now?
It exists,
Yeah,
time travel.
exactly. Time travel. So it was a good book, and then I read a few more of her other books, which they were good as well. But
What is her name? I mean I caught a few of the episodes on I think it's Hulu. What is her name? Hack.
that
What is her name in the show?
who the
The
June
main character.
June.
But no, but like her slave name, I guess you could say. That's weird to say. Her slave name.
Offred.
Yeah, Offred.
So they're of
Yeah, and then whoever the guy's name is.
So they could be of Lawrence.
Yeah,
or
I got
whatever.
that concept of it.
I think it's just I think Margaret Atwood's probably my most favorite author. It's just amazing to be able to write like that.
I always wanted when I used to watch that show. I don't care who her next owner was going to be. I mean, I stopped, but she was always going to be Offred. I don't care who owned her after that.
Well, I read the books that follow it.
So does it follow? Does it follow Does it follow her story like it does on Hulu, or is it different?
Yes, it follows June.
Got it.
And to the end where
Offred.
What happens to June
Offred.
and her kids.
Offred.
Yeah, Offred.
I don't care if her name is June or not. Offred. I think I stopped watching, and I don't want to give any spoilers, but after the baby gets out, somewhere around
season 2, I think, right?
Yeah, I didn't catch it for too long, and Offred has like one of those weird faces. It's like, is her eye asleep, or is it just staring into the camera?
I just think there's a lot to be said with that show because there's not much dialogue, so you really have to watch it. There's a lot of facial expressions that you have to clue in on.
And they cut Shorty Pinky off. Oh man, that was crazy. She thought she was gonna be flying, going there and read the Bible. Yeah, all right.
She was the creator of all of it, but she had to take a step back.
And that's crazy. So to watch,
it was her insight to do all that.
Yeah, to watch how she actually took a step back and allowed him to be like this face. I'm like, wow, she must be dying inside.
Yeah. So when I go out in the grocery stores, I think that's why I panic now, because I'm like, oh my God, this is like food shopping in The Handmaid's Tale. Don't look at anybody. Don't make eye contact. Put your mask on.
All right. So my honorable mention, and I'm reading a series now. It's called Quarantine. What are the odds of that? But my wife and I, we bought this book about 3 years ago, and we said, oh, let's sit down and let's read it together. And of course, life comes in, and you don't do it. And I took it off the bookshelf. Oh my God, Erica!
Sorry. Go ahead. You talk.
It's by Lex Thomas. I just looked at it. It's by Lex Thomas, and it sort of follows like the Hunger Games type of trilogy. It's a high school. It's a high school. It's like a really big high school, and something happens where some kid is infected with this virus that only kills adults.
Oh wow. Okay.
So they bomb the school and they quarantine the school off. Oh, it's like the Hunger Games meets what's that movie? What's the book we read to the fourth graders? Lord of the
Oh,
Flies.
Lord of the
It's like
Flies.
the
Oh,
Hunger
that's a
Games
great book.
and Lord of the Flies mixed together.
That's
So
a
the
great
kids
book.
kind of go off into different gangs, and then there are kids that don't have gangs, and then the adults drop food every once in a while. So at the food drops, they're fighting. Kids are killing each other over
Oh,
basic
okay.
necessities. It's a really cool concept. I'm actually almost done with the second book, and I have two books on the way that are coming
Okay.
from thrift books.
So those are books that what resold?
The two books that are on the way, there were no used copies. Well, Thrift Books is a website that you can buy used books from, and the books are usually about $4 each. So,
Oh, okay.
I don't have a discount code or anything. Enjoy, and they're about $4, and it's like 99 cents to ship. If you spend more than $10, the shipping is free. But the last two books they only have new, so I had to pay $10 each for the books. Ooh,
Now,
first world problems.
do you send them back when you're done,
No, they're
or like
mine.
re? Oh, okay.
That's how I
See, that's the
I
one
did
thing I
my
don't like
library up.
about keeping books. I don't want to keep books. I
Got
have
it.
tons of books in the attic that I'll probably never read again.
You're not one of those who ever decided, "Oh, I'm gonna get like one of those e-readers and do it that way. You have to fill a physical book in your hand.
I like, yeah, I do, but I don't like buying and having to keep them. That's the only thing.
So here's my question to all of the people who they have to have a physical book in their hand. What's the difference between having a physical book in your hand as opposed to when you listen to music and you don't have the CD, or you watch DVDs and you don't have the DVD? Because because Netflix and those other places, these streaming places, they're really popular. Why do we have to have a physical book in our hand? Why do we have to touch it? What is it like, the smell of the page, the crisp
I think
book?
so. I think I like that, and I don't know. I like to go back and look, and it's hard to do that with an e-reader because then you're scrolling. Yeah, I'm not an e-reader
Well, just
person,
be a
so
better reader and
that's
just read it one time and that's it, Erica.
I
And just
know. But
remember it
then
forever.
you have to keep it. That's what I don't want to do. I don't want to be keeping all of these books in my house.
Well, just think of like the Beauty and the Beast when he built her the whole library. Just put shelves up and just put books there so that when people come over, they go,
Sure,
"Oh wow, she's so elegant and dignified."
I would love a library, but that's not happening.
All right, and
So now they just take up space and dust.
what is your recommend honorable
Oh,
mention?
I don't know. There's so many. Okay. So I'm gonna go with this is a really funny book.
As you're looking on your iPad to say the title of the
I
book.
am on my lib. No, I'm looking on my Libby app at all the books I listened to or
Okay.
read. Um, I'm gonna go with 50 Things That Aren't My Fault by Kathy Juice White. So anyway, she's actually a cartoonist, and she had her Kathy cartoons every day. They would come out weekly in the Saturday newspapers, and I remember seeing them, and they would be funny or whatever. So basically, it's an autobiography, and as I'm reading it, I didn't really make the connection at first until like she gets into the book where she says that she became a cartoonist. But it's like your book that don't give an F.
Yeah.
So it's basically like 50 things that are my fault, and she goes through them, and she's just like, my life is what it is, and I'm not going to hold myself accountable anymore for things that I would let bother me. Like, it is what it is, and it was really funny.
I enjoy
So
that when you can read a book and you can actually laugh like someone's telling it to you in person. It's like you've done a good job.
yeah, like there were so many things I could relate to. Like, she'd walk into her daughter's room, and the way she just described it, and you're just hysterical laughing because, especially if you have kids, it's like, yeah, you're not the only one, and she would just internalize a lot and realize, at later in life that all these things that she internalized weren't really necessary.
I think that's all of us.
And one of the things that I loved the most was like she kept a bin of jeans, and each one was labeled: my skinny jeans, my fat jeans, my maternity jeans, my maybe I'll wear these one day jeans. And I'm like, oh my god, I could so relate because I have about 50 or 60 pairs of jeans
Why?
that I don't want to get rid of. Well, hey, I don't know, they might come back in style.
I have two pairs of jeans.
Oh no.
3, maybe. I have a pair of black ones, I have a pair of blue ones, and I have a pair of faded blue ones with cuts in it that I can't ever wear to work. And they're all skinny to show that I went from a size 38 to a 34. No wedgie skinny also. That's important. It's the skinny jeans without the wedgie in the back.
That's good. Yeah, you don't want to wear those. No, I have many jeans, and I do pull them out every now and then. I'm like, maybe I should get rid of these. Nope, because one day I might want to wear them, but I probably will never wear them.
I have a pair of what are these jeans called? And I remember going to Jersey Gardens Mall and thinking, oh man, I have to go into the store and get the jeans. It's the jeans with the horseshoe on the back. What are those? True Religions.
Oh.
I have a pair of True Religion jeans. Oh, those are my favorite pair of jeans. And I walked in. No, because they're baggy and tight at the same time, and they don't give. And now people make jokes about people with True Religion jeans.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to be the butt of any of those jokes. They still lit though. I mean, I still got them in there. I got them hemmed and everything. But it's like I can't bring myself to wear them and have people make fun of me. You know, when I was younger, I almost spent $400 on a pair of jeans. Ask me the name brand.
What's the name brand?
Evisu. You ever heard of Evisu jeans?
No.
Yeah, I almost spent $400 just to say I had a pair of Evisu jeans because I thought girls would like me more. What an idiot.
Wear your True Religion ones next time we have jean day at work.
So they can be all baggy at the bottom and drape over my sneakers.
Yeah, just wear them.
I didn't get them. I was supposed to get them tapered also, and the lady literally just like hemmed them. So it's like a claw machine over my sneakers.
Oh my goodness!
It looks so bad. I'll take a picture of them. And I stopped wearing them because I went. Danny was painting in Laverne's house. And I went in there to say hi to him, and because my jeans are all baggy at the bottom, I rubbed against the wall at some point, and they got like this maroon red paint on the sides of them. Here I am. I'm like, I paid $109 for these jeans. I'm still wearing them. And someone said, "Oh, you got paint on your jeans." No. That's the style. They came like that.
That's the style.
It's vintage.
You splatter more paint on them.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But I have to say, I've never spent a lot of money on jeans because I am a bargain shopper. So I will find coupon codes, whatever, for anything that I buy.
Oh, that brings us to our next topic of online shopping. Tell me more about these coupon codes. They never work on PlayStation Store. I have to spend the entire price of a video game.
Oh, PlayStation Store. Well, that's where they get you. You want it, right? You're gonna get it.
But it should not be the same price for something that's digital for something that's physical. But it costs money to make something that's physical. So how can it be the same price for something that doesn't exist beyond being in my PlayStation? I can't take it with me.
So you have to download it?
Yes. And it took about 2 days to download because here we go.
But now you're stuck with that. And what if you have no more space? What do you have to do? Get rid of it?
Yes.
Do you still have the
yes, you still have the access to re-download it again. But long story short, I had my PlayStation in the living room because that's where the Wi-Fi is. And I hardwired it into the living room so that I could play games because the closer you are to the Wi-Fi, the better experience you'll get. I stopped playing multiplayer games, meaning I started playing story-based games that didn't require Wi-Fi. So I moved my PlayStation into the bedroom. Now that I'm playing this Call of Duty game, I tried to move my PlayStation back into the living room, and my wife said, "Oh no, you're not going to be out there all night till 11, 12 o'clock yelling at people. Leave it in the bedroom." So now I'm back here with freaking 11 megabits a second, whatever that is, getting terrible service because my wife said I'm going to be out there till all times of night playing if I take it back into the living room. So thanks a lot.
So I have 2 PlayStation systems. I guess I have the very first one they made, and then I guess PlayStation 2.
Why?
I don't know. They're in the attic.
You should sell them. You might get some money for them.
Yeah? Because we used to play, what's the card game?
Grand Theft Auto?
Yes, Grand Theft Auto. That's my favorite.
What are you doing playing Grand Theft Auto?
I love it. It's great.
Which one?
I guess the first one, because I'm going back, I want to say...
Wait, you're playing it on PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2?
It has to be on PlayStation 1. I'm going back.
Is it like an overview, like you're looking down at the person, like a bird's eye view? Or do you actually see the person?
Oh, you don't see the person.
Okay, so you're playing like the original.
Back, so if Madeline's going to be 14, this is probably 14, 15, about 16 years.
Okay, so that's pretty old.
It's the original, yeah. So
gamers like myself, we don't really count Grand Theft Auto until Grand Theft Auto 3.
Oh, well. Okay.
That's when you can actually see the person pull the gun out and you can steal cars and do some bad stuff. The new Grand Theft Auto, it came out about 5 years ago and it's still really popular. Grand Theft Auto 5. If you ever get a chance to check that out, I mean, like it looks really good, well thought out. It was like Game of the Year, and people are still spending money playing that game because that's how they get you.
So it would play on my old PlayStation?
No, it wouldn't play on your own PlayStation. The game itself is like 75 gigs of space to even play it. It's one of those games like, remember when you would get a video game and you'd pop it in and you can play right away?
Yes.
Nope, not anymore. Now when you get a video game, it's like it's downloading for 7 days. See you next week.
Oh, wow.
Before you can play it.
But then it takes up all that space.
Yes.
See, my daughter, who loves games, she won't buy digital games because of that reason. So she wants the actual game. And we always have to pre-order and pick it up on the day that it comes out. So now I'm stuck with 2 copies of Animal Crossing because I pre-ordered it and the GameStop closed. Or was closing, so she didn't want to wait or whatever. So
wait, define closing like permanently because they're having financial issues, or closing because of the pandemic?
No, closed because of the pandemic. So it came out on a Friday. She was going to get it Monday, but she had to have it that Friday. So she wound up, went to the store and bought it with her dad. And the game wound up coming, and GameStop closed, and I couldn't return it. So now I'm in this dispute with GameStop because they don't give you anything to return the games. If you buy a game online, there's nothing on their website that says,
oh no, once you get anything that's digital, it's yours.
No, it wasn't digital. I bought the actual game.
Oh, you bought it online?
Yeah, I bought it online, pre-order. So there's nothing on their website that says you can't return this game. So I'm on a Twitter war with them where I call them out every day, and then I get an email saying, please reach out to us. And when I do, they give me your name, give me your number, and then nothing ever happens.
I pre-ordered a game at my GameStop, Final Fantasy VII, and the game came out, and they said, "Hey, do you want us to send it to you?" I'm like, "No, I'm just gonna watch somebody on YouTube play it. I'm gonna get my $60-something back." Sorry, GameStop.
Yeah, no. So we have another pre-order game coming May something. I don't know, something she wanted. So I spent the extra $10 to have it sent to us on the day that it comes out.
If nobody ever says so, Erica, you're an awesome mom. You spent an extra $10. I couldn't even get name brand cereal from my mother. And you're spending extra money to get stuff shipped, man. You know how bad I wanted Rice-A-Roni as a kid?
Wait, no, the best has to be Maeve comes to me and she wanted me to buy her subscribers on TikTok. So I spent $10 on 400 subscribers. And I was like, "Oh, this is how people do it." She's like, "Yeah, Mom. People buy subscribers all the time."
Wait. Okay. You just got into a topic that we didn't even list. I need to know about this. Buying subscribers, it's like an actual person that like they get money to just wait.
I don't know.
Explain it, please.
I don't know how it works, but I TikTok went on, put my credit card on there, paid for 400 subscribers.
You just gave your credit card to the president of China?
Yeah, exactly. And no, I always use a credit card that has like very little money on it or availability, or I use my debit card that I don't put money on. So if they ever try to do it again, they're not going to get anything. But yeah, so the next day she was like, "Oh, I have 400 subscribers." She goes, "They're basically from other countries though." So I said, "But how does that work?" Like,
so what is the benefit of her getting the subscribers? Because it's not like they're going to interact with her or they're really fans of her. It's just
when you look at the number of subscribers, I guess it makes you more popular, and people are like, "Oh wow, she's got almost 1,000 followers. Let me follow her."
That's ridiculous.
and I think it happens a lot on social media, especially like Instagram and Twitter.
Nope. When I see people with a lot of subscribers, I go, nope, stay away from them. I want to find someone who's fresh and new. I want to be one of the day ones.
So back to online shopping. So I do most of my online shopping via, not through Instagram, but I do follow people on Instagram, and they're called influencers. And I guess they get paid by the brand that they're modeling or showing off or
I see these dudes over here wearing Fashion Nova.
So so I follow them, and if it's something I like, I'll go, I'll click their link to go up and look at it or whatever. But then I don't go through their link to buy it if I choose to buy it. I'll go through the actual website.
Oh, you don't go through, use my discount code, guys.
No.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
And I know that's how they make their living, through the affiliate links, but it depends on who the person is that I'm following. But no, sometimes I just go on my own and I'll buy it. But that's basically how I do most of my shopping now, because I see how it looks on a certain person. And I'm like, oh, I could see myself wearing that. And I prefer online shopping over going to the store, because I think there's more I don't want to look through the racks.
I have to already own something before I decide I'm going to buy it online. Like my Adidas pants, I can buy those online because I already own them. I already know how they fit. But I've gotten burned from online shopping, and then I've kept stuff because I just didn't feel like sending it back. You know what's crazy? Years ago, and you're not going to believe this, but it's true. Years ago, I ordered something through Instagram and never got it. I'm still waiting for it. You want to know what it is?
What?
Pokemon Go clothes.
Pokemon Go clothes.
Yep, I was Team Valor. I ordered the hat. I ordered the shirt. I was going to be walking around catching these monsters. And everyone knew what team I was playing for. That's about to be the new gangs out here.
No,
and the stuff never came.
I won't buy from Instagram or Facebook, because most of those companies are across the seas, and it's never what it is. But like, I'm going to be honest, I shop a lot on Walmart. I won't go into Walmart and shop because it's a mess, but they have some nice things. And Walmart actually sells other people's products.
Yeah.
Like my Louis Vuitton dupe. She used to sell them on Amazon, so now she sells them through Walmart.
Listen, I saw that purse, and I said, that's a really cool purse, man.
There's a lot of dupes out there. So I know that's another thing. I'm like on a mission to find dupes, because I'm not going to spend all that money on stuff.
Well, if you find that Dior sweatshirt that Kevin Hart was wearing, you holler at your boy, man.
I will.
That was a cool little sweatshirt, man. I was looking for that. I said, ooh, I can't wait to find the $59 version. That freaking sweatshirt's like $3,000.
Yeah. Yep. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
All right. So, Erica, what are you watching on Netflix currently?
Right now, Waco.
Waco, what's that?
That David Koresh.
Who's that?
I don't know him. So he was a cult leader, and he believed that he was the Lamb of God, and he managed to, reel these people in with the Bible and talking about Revelations and the end of the world, and he was their Lamb of God. He was, going to bring them to the end of the world.
But no Kool-Aid? Was there Kool-Aid involved in the story?
No, that was Jonestown.
Okay,
no.
I think that's the only one I know, because the only time I started listening is when they said Kool-Aid. I said, what about Kool-Aid?
No, so basically, he's the Lamb of God, and it's in Waco, Texas. It takes place on it was called the Davidian Ranch, and he was a religious leader, and he had brought in married couples, and he said, I'm marrying your wife. And he married everyone's wives, and he impregnated all the women, because he was the only one who can impregnate the women, not their actual husbands.
This is like Meerkat Manor.
And he, because he felt that sex shouldn't be enjoyed. It was just to procreate. So he had like 13 children at this ranch, and basically it was seized because the ATF, you know what the ATF is?
The anti, I know it's anti something.
alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
Why did I think it was really? I remember listening to a song by DMX and he was coming to get him. Boom, boom, boom. Open the door. ATF.
Yeah, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. So they're basically a division of the federal FBI.
I think it was like anti-terrorism and fugazi nonsense.
No, so they had planted one of their cops in there, an undercover cop, and
did he give his wife up?
No, he didn't have a wife.
What is he doing there? You can't join unless you're married.
Yeah, exactly. No, they didn't have to be married. They took in like anybody, but he brainwashed them basically. So they found that they were they had some sort of thing, this system where they were like, I don't even know, like they were creating new guns. Well, they were taking one gun and making it into a different kind of gun.
Got it.
So the ATF went in, and the Waco I'm watching is a skewed version of it, and it makes the ATF look bad.
Well, I mean, there's no law against being in a cult, though, right? It's literally because of the guns that the ATF...
they went in there because they had word that they were going to take over the world with their guns. But there is a law that he was marrying, impregnating, like, one girl was like 12 years old. They got her pregnant at 12. Ooh. So right now it's I don't know what episode I'm on, but they're at day 40. So my guess is, and I don't really know much about what happened in Waco, that day 40 is a biblical number.
Yeah.
So I think that, he was always getting messages from God. So these people were waiting for him to get the message from God as to what they were going to do next. So they were basically in quarantine for 40 days, and the ATF and the federal government was outside for 40 days. And one of the crazy things they did was they had a hostage negotiator who was trying to get him to give up himself and others. They came up with the idea that they were going to do like a Chinese I don't want to say Chinese then, like a torture device. So they set up these huge speakers outside the ranch. And when they would wait for like midnight to come, and they kill their electricity and everything, they would put these blaring lights on, and they would crank up this crazy screams, like screaming, animals dying, and they would play it for hours and hours and hours, wanting these people to just like give up and be like, I can't take it anymore.
I mean, that's a tactic. Yeah. It brings me to my show that I just finished watching, Ozark.
Oh, see, I got through season 1. I couldn't finish it.
Oh, you gotta watch Ozark. I saw a meme the other day, and it showed an old picture of Justin Timberlake, and the meme said, "I'm gonna tell my kids that this is Ruth."
Oh, I see, and I gotta get back into it. I have to get back into it.
Yeah, season 3 came out while we were on the quarantine, and it's a really good show.
But I feel like season 1, I don't even think I finished season 1. I just felt like it kind of got slow. I got to the point where it
is slow. It's slow. It's drawn out. It's set up, and then something happens, and you go, "Oh shoot, didn't see that coming."
Oh, okay.
Did you watch The Tiger King?
Get back. Yes. Did you?
No,
I had to.
I started it because everyone else was saying Carole Baskin, so I wanted to watch. And as I'm watching, it's like a car wreck, but I turned away. It's the car wreck that you turn away from because you're late for work.
Yes, it is. But
it's so bad. It's so, you know what it is? I saw a clip on Facebook, and it's the one where when the tiger or whatever the lion was dragged him by his foot, and he started cursing the tiger out. I ought to shoot you between the eye. That's the only part of it I wanted to see. That's the only part I wanted to see. And within 3 episodes, I still didn't see it. I was like, all right, I'm over it.
I think it was watching these people that he just lured again, like almost like a cult leader. Like he just like got these people to come work for him that were like meth heads, coke heads, didn't fit in their life somehow.
Listen,
or where they were living.
That's a vibe. If I were a different person and I really wanted like some cheap labor, yo, come through. I got a trailer for you. Just come work. I'll feed you, take care of you. But I mean, I'm not that person. But like, I can see why, like, because it benefits him.
He ran for governor or something like that in Florida, wherever that was.
No, I think the other guy was in Florida. The one with like
Oh,
the four wives or the girlfriends or whatever, and they all have
oh,
houses next to
well,
each other.
he ran for some. Oh yes, he ran for some political position, but he wore those True Religion jeans.
They're not True Religion jeans he was wearing. Were they? Were they True Religion?
They look like it. He had a lot. He had a lot of bedazzle and sparkle on
Can
them.
you imagine? And then I'm watching the episode when he and both his husbands get married. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what is going on here? It was like,
The one guy I watched the after episode. He said he wasn't even gay. He
but
was just like, I think he fed him drugs, and that's why how he kept these people with him.
Erica, a lady got her arm ripped off and she came back to work like it was nothing.
Yes, I know.
Like it was nothing. Do you see her sitting in the pile of trash having her interview? It's like
Yes.
trash everywhere. Like you couldn't find like a coffee table somewhere to just be in the background, like some nice area. You're just gonna sit in this pile of trash. It literally looked like she was doing her interview in Toy Story 3 when they were
Yes.
all going into the furnace. And then
Yes.
the claw came down and saved them. That's what it looked like.
But she said she felt a belonging there. Like she felt like she belonged there. You didn't see the episode then where the guy like shot himself in the head, one of his husbands.
No. Wait,
Yes.
the young guy.
The young guy.
No, all I saw was like the toothless husband. And I know I saw him, but I didn't see I didn't get that far. No, I saw right after they got married, and Carol Baskin's husband went missing, and then they had all the little scorned women up there saying that Carol Baskin is something else.
She's another one too, though. Like she's got some. I think she killed her husband and fed him to the tigers. She's crazy too. Crazy.
All right, so let's go ahead and wrap, Erica. And I want you to tell me as we end this, what is your most expensive waste of money?
My most expensive waste of money.
It can be a collective of things, or it could be one item.
I'm gonna say lipstick.
You're not a lipstick person?
I buy a ton of lipstick and I never wear it because it comes off.
My wife was doing like this little lip sense thing at one point, and her whole selling point was it doesn't come off, and you'd have to like apply like it was like painting your lips. Like you needed primer, you needed the paint, and you needed like a cover.
I have about 4 or 5 of those colors too.
You did those? The lip sense?
Yes.
Ooh, look at you.
So probably lipstick because I have a ton, and I still like. Oh, that's a nice color, and then you put it on, and then it wears off, and I'm just not one to reapply. So,
my grandmother would wear the cheapest lipstick that I've ever seen, and it would be all over the place. It would be on napkins, it'd be on soda cans, it'd be on the fork, it'd be on her teeth. It was everywhere.
If I could get lipstick tattooed on, I would totally do it.
What about eyebrows? Would you tattoo eyebrows?
No, they will. I don't know. I think they look funny on me, but if I could do a lipstick tattoo, I would. I know they do lip liner, I do have my Aunt Barbara wore this one color all the time, and when she passed away, that was the one thing I keep like in my bag all the time. I don't wear it, but it's just always with me because I don't know. There's something about it. It was just the color that she loved and wore all the time, so I always keep it in my bag with me. I guess just to have a piece of her with me too, but so I don't know. My grandmother wore lipstick, my aunt wore lipstick, and I just said it looks nice, and I try to wear it, and I just don't know. My lips, I'm not.
I was never a lipstick guy. Didn't look good on me. Just one.
No, okay, you can try it.
All right, my most expensive waste of money, and this goes back to me being in high school. I used to buy all these bootleg CDs. And I had sneaker boxes of bootleg albums. And I literally counted down. I would pay I think it was like $5 for each one. It was literally about $500 worth of music in the box.
Oh, wow.
And I said, what the heck? I don't even listen to any of this stuff anymore.
And were they good quality?
I mean, they were the same quality as the regular CDs. But I mean, it wasn't. It was just like it was some guy who would go to Newport Mall and he had like this buck. You know what a $1.50 is?
Yes.
like that really long scar. And he would walk around with this really big book bag. He's like, "Yo, what's up, man? Got these mixtapes. You like blends?"
So
And I'm
what do
like,
you think
"Yeah,
it
let me get that
is?
Eminem album." Trash.
But what is it? Is it the fact that but there's like, so now I'm listening to a new book about it's called Brain Fog, and one of the things is he talks about like the dopamine we have in our system, and then dopamine it increases when you go on a roller coaster or a shopping spree. So what is it about it? Like for me, lipstick is it just looks nice in the tube. And you can just picture it on your lips, and it's inexpensive. So I feel like buying that, it doesn't really add up. But if you look at how many you buy over time, it adds up. So what is it for you with the CDs? Was it that you were buying it from illegally and it was like a high for you, or what was it?
I just like music. And I was
music.
and I was always looking for the new song.
Oh, okay.
And what would happen is you get like I'll give you an example. Neptunes. You know who the Neptunes are?
Yes.
They would make all these cool beats for different people, and then they came out with an album, and I said, "Ooh, all those beats that they kept for themselves are gonna be on there." Oh, and it was some garbage, Erica. And I said, I'm not giving them money again for me to like 2 songs, and then the other 16 songs are trash.
Yeah.
Nope. And then I decided I was gonna save money, but if it wasn't for like CDs, like bootleg CDs, my other thing would have been Cologne. I was the sucker. Okay. The little skinny lady with all the bracelets on would always draw me in at Macy's. "Oh, come over here, sweetheart. I want to show you something. How does it smell? Is that delightful? You smell that? Little earthy tones." And I'm sitting there making it up. Yeah, I like that. How much is it?
And then you'd buy it?
Yeah. "Oh, this bottle right here is $97, but it comes with a free bag." "Oh, a free bag? Oh, that's amazing."
See, I can't. I don't know. I can't spend a lot of money on that either.
I'm always like a sucker for a salesman because it goes back to my wanting people to like me. It's like, I want the salesman to like me. And then my uncle had to tell me, he doesn't like you. You're just money.
Exactly.
So it doesn't care if he likes you or not. We want to be his friend for.
I don't know. They get you.
Yeah. It's like when you get those buyer's remorse. I almost bought one of those irons. One of those. You ever go to the mall and they got the iron that just like, "Ooh, watch this. I'm gonna wrinkle up the shirt and then I'm gonna," and then look, all the wrinkles come out. And I'm like, "Oh wow, that's really cool. I can iron in 5 minutes." And they go, "How much is the iron?" "Well, this iron is $100. What?
Yeah. No, I got suckered in one time. I went to the NJEA convention once, and they have this rainbow vacuum cleaner. And I know it's a good brand because my aunt has one, and she's had it since the 70s. And basically, I bought it. It was a $2,000 vacuum cleaner. And
what?
I just thought I was going to be this great person. I just thought I was going to be like fantastic when it came to cleaning because I had this
Erica, for $2,000, I will come and vacuum your house once a week.
Well, I'm using it today, so.
Oh my gosh.
It's eco-friendly.
Eco-friendly. So. It's like I get the the hand soap, and it's like made with plant-based materials. So toxic.
It is.
All right, well, thanks for tuning in. We're gonna end it here, and if you have any suggestions for next top 5, please make sure you comment below, like and subscribe. That's what all the cool people say on YouTube. So yes. I want you to do it for us as well. And take care, guys. This is Mark, and this is
Erica,
and we're signing off. Thanks a lot, guys. See you next episode. Bye. Well, bye. I don't know. Should I do that? Bye. No, that's weird. Maybe I won't put the bye in there.
Okay. Bye.
Speaking of that, my daughter was watching like some girls on YouTube. They got some cute YouTubers now, man.
That's the way to go.
It was like Ali something. I'm like, oh shoot, yes. What did she say? Wait, we have to end the episode. That's for next time. We're gonna talk about cute YouTubers. All right.
Okay.
Bye, guys.